What's going on, everyone? Welcome to DCTV Prospects Day 5 class. Before we get started in the actual class, I just wanted to go over some of the videos that were turned in this week. And, it was absolutely amazing seeing everybody's videos getting turned in. Itzel, since you're here, we can go ahead and talk about your video. You and Liz did an amazing job taking that first step. Very proud, very anxious and excited to see what you guys come up with next. And, little bit of a thing, don't worry about, messing up. It's going to happen. So by all means, just be your true, authentic self, and the grind and the way that you do things is going to come. All right. For instance, let's look at, I posted my first video from last year in the group chat, but a much better example would have to say, let's take Kenzie's video, for example. He posted a video from last year when he went through this class before. And we got to see, him stumbling around, him being nervous and saying, I'm nervous, I'm and he's just, talking with his hands and whatnot, which that's a part of who he is. Awesome. But we got to see the quality after his hustle for one entire year. And you could see the big difference. He's got his flow going on. And you guys will find that too. You guys will find that flow so long as you stay diligent and you continue to experiment and keep looking for that feedback about what people are attracted to when it comes to your type of content. So definitely keep going on. That was awesome. Does anybody else have anything to comment about Itzel's video?
Good job.
Thank you.
I watched it.
Thank you.
I was like, all right, I'm ready to see what this is going to be about.
I mean, we were very natural there. I had just gotten in the shower and I was like, okay, but this is how my hair looks. It's like, let's just get this over with.
And you know what? You don't have to worry about the hair. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
The documenting the journey, no matter what stage you're in, or no matter what time of day it is, hey, you know what? People like the authenticness of even being unprepared as far as, hey, you know what? I haven't showered yet. I just got out of the gym, but I just had something that I had to share with you guys right now.
Yeah. And that's a little bit of Liz and I, we talked about. We wanted to be just authentic and just let everybody know that just be comfortable with who you are. That was our main goal. That is our main goal for whoever it is. Just be comfortable in your own skin. So it's like, yeah, this is my hair. This is how it looks after a shower. Let's do it.
What up?
Excellent.
Right.
Excellent. All right. So we are going to go ahead and jump into the class. If Kenzie happens to make it in, I would love to ask him a question or two. To be
Gundy said he'd be late. I don't know if you saw the thing. He said he'd be late. He's still working. He's still being a slave right now.
Yeah, he's still doing the slave job. That's okay. When he gets in here, he'll get in here. Hopefully Kenzie and Trek can make it. If not, that's okay too. They could certainly watch the recap. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get this class started. All right. All right, so DCTV Prospects, Day 5. Love is a decision. All right. Like, why are we talking about love? And, you're going to find out. All right. Love is a decision. Love is a choice. And falling in love is emotional. Now, let's look at the graphic right here. Love is a decision. It is a judgment. It is a promise. If love were only a feeling, there would be no basis for the promise to love each other forever, or love what you're doing, or love your audience. A feeling comes and it may go. How can I judge that it will stay forever when my act does not involve judgment and decision? What do you love about what you are doing now? All right. So let's look at relationships, for example. All right. I've been divorced. All right. Using my divorce as an example, I will say that I had made the decision to love this woman to the end of time. So much so that I actually waited for her to come back for 4 years. Now, some might say that makes me the world's best example of a walking carpet that she could just walk all over, or the most patient and dedicated person. Doesn't matter. Point being, I made the decision and I was sticking to it the best that I could. All right. It didn't happen, didn't pan out, and that's okay. But let's also look at this third bullet point. Falling in love is emotional. And that's one of the things that we want to also focus on, okay? We want your audience to fall in love with you, fall in love with your product, fall in love with your service, or whatever content that you are creating and providing, and that journey that you are documenting. That's kind of like dating when you think about it. You know, hey, this is part of me. This is who I am. And they will either love you and accept you for it, or they won't. And part of the whole content creation space is kind of like dating, all right? You are putting yourself out there. You're putting your content out there. You're putting your, you know, in my case, my wares out there, my apparel, okay? In Mikkel and Brian's content creation space, they're doing videos and apparel as well, you know? And we are documenting our journey. And those that are attracted to us by our authentic self and our mission and, you know, the process, the rise and fall, the pitfalls, the hiccups, you know, everything. You document everything because that is your journey. That is part of who you are. And people will fall in love with it. They will fall in love and have some sort of emotional connection to you. All right. So what do you love about what you are doing now? Definitely something to think about.
That's the jam right there.
Falling in love. The details are where we fall in love. Enjoy the process. All right. Let's look at dating. All right. When you meet somebody, you talk, hey, introduce yourself, say, hey, you know what? I like where this conversation is going. Unfortunately, I got to go. But hey, how do we stay connected so that we can maybe catch some coffee later or whatever? Okay. And then you go coffee, the dates, like the whole process. All right. Your product / service will fail if people just like it. All right. You want to elicit strong responses and have an emotional lock-in, right? Your journey that you're documenting is a part of the falling in love process. You want your audience to fall in love with you as a content creator, as, a product or service. I want people to fall in love with my apparel because it raises the bar. It's the next level of cryptocurrency apparel. That's one of my goals and desires. Okay. I want them to fall in love with me as a content creator because I'm making awesome apparel, or somebody's doing a podcast or, a YouTube channel or a blog or a vlog. You want them to fall in love with the entire journey because you're being your true authentic self. If you're not being your authentic self and you create a relationship, the relationship goes nowhere in real life. The boyfriend-girlfriend thing falls apart when she finds out or he finds out who you really are. Okay? What emotions are you trying to evoke? Repetition equals brand recognition. Let's look at Nike and Gatorade. If you look at their commercials, it's the same commercial over and over and over again. They're just shot different ways. You see somebody running. You see somebody playing ball or something. Then you start to see somebody sweating, and it's like, and then you're like, okay, you know what? I recognize this. This is either a Nike commercial or a Gatorade commercial. And then you see somebody do this and you're like, Gatorade. You see it over and over and over again, and people can recognize the brand just based on the content that you are creating. Okay. Assume knowledge equals quality. All right. There's a couple ways to take this. One of the things that I can say from my personal experience is that, I have a lot of experience when it comes to being in the military, being deployed, being in a relationship, and, having divorce and, getting back into the dating life. Okay. If anybody that I know is having trouble with their marriage or whatnot, I can look at where they are in what stage of, the breakup or making amends that they are. And I can say, hey, you know what? I recognize this. Here are some, tips that you might want to utilize. We prioritize what we know and identify with what we purchase. So what do I know? Well, using the example before, I know that, you know what, if you are feeling that something's wrong, you could actually see it in the photos that you take together. You know, I actually learned how to read photos, like photographs. Like I can tell who's in a relationship, who's not, when they were fighting. I can tell if there's something wrong with the relationship, or if somebody's being possessive. I can tell when somebody is like really into another person just by looking at the photos. This was a skill that was developed for women who were being battered, and they had to go to I forget the actual name of the word, but like, you know, like safe houses for women and kids. One of my friends is a doctor who actually worked for these centers. Okay. And, you know, one of the skills that he learned working at this center was that there was a photo reading sort of course where you can actually look at the family album, the photos, you know, Facebook photos, you know, like whatever. And you can see where in the relationship something started to happen. Something started, you know, somebody cheated, somebody, you know, there was an argument, you know. It got to the point where he was so good at reading photos, he could predict divorces. Like he predicted Tom Cruise and Katie to get in a divorce. Okay, he's like, oh, right there, that's photo. You know, that photo right there, they're done. You know, no matter how much they're smiling and whatnot, the body language tells all. How they're looking, how they're posed, you know, heads tilted, you know, all these different things, you know. Anyway, so the knowledge that I know, utilizing just that, I can put towards helping somebody in their own relationship. And there's a sort of quality to that, okay? And when we prioritize what we know, let's say, you know, for us, a lot of us here, it's cryptocurrency. We know about cryptocurrency. We know about, you know, how it works, or like Brian and Mikhail, mining. Okay. So instead of focusing on relationships, they're focusing on mining. Instead of focusing on, you know, how to paint a house or how to build a house, you know, they're focusing on mining. All right. And people will identify with what they purchase. So when it comes to their stores.
I do know how to paint a house too.
But are you making videos on how to paint a house?
No, I made videos on how to make stuff in a Vitamix. What up though?
I know how to clean my Vitamix too.
For real?
There we go. All right,
you know, you got that clean button.
But focusing back on when it comes to content creation process, if you are sharing your knowledge and your experiences and what comes from the heart, all right, that's quality, and people will identify with that, and people will, you know, like support you. You know, if you decide to come out with, you know, a apparel or a Vitamix, you know, or, you know, podcast merchandise or whatever. Okay. People will identify with it. Like if you have a dog and you like coffee and you see, oh, look, pugs and mugs, I'll get something from there, you know, cause, you know, I have a pug and there's a mug with a pug on it. People identify with what they purchase, whether that's actually physical products or the purchase being that subscribe button to your channel, to what you are sharing with the world. Okay. Day 5 homework. Write down, what's to love about me? What have I heard about me? What do people say? What gets me angry? What gets me ridiculously retarded silly? Write down, what about my content or services is worth falling in love with? What about my product is worth falling in love with? Now, all the blue right there, that's going to be for those who have already gone through the course before. So a little extra for you in blue. What about my content or services have people been falling in love with? Okay. The best way to get responses is to take a stand or say something that is clearly wrong, because people will show up to tell you. What responses have people shown me? Okay. Write down, how do I create brand awareness? For those that have been in for a while, how have I been creating brand awareness, and is it working? What experiment would I like to try next to increase my brand awareness? Day 5 homework continued. Video number 1, Detail out an example of where you fell in love with a product, service, or personality, and give us all of the juicy details, okay? Now, if you look at other videos or other reviews or whatnot, or people telling a story or whatnot, if they fell in love with a product or they tell a story about something that, they actually absolutely loved, you'll see them crack a smile. And when you start telling your story, if you fell in love with, a product, service, or a personality or whatnot, you'll crack a smile too when you tell a story about it, okay? Does your product make someone crack a smile? And for those that have been in for a while, how has your journey so far made someone smile? Okay. Extra video idea. What does your journey look like in 3 years? What will happen? If you've been in for a while, what has happened during your journey so far? Okay. Winston Churchill once said, change is the price of survival. Okay, what does that mean? Well, let's look at, survival in the content creation space. If you want to survive, you have to change. You have to change, your knowledge base, your skill base. You have to be able to learn as you go. Starting off with a simple cell phone video, working your way up to being able to use OBS or Zoom or, all these different things, being able to do little extra things inside to make your videos pop, transitions, all this different stuff. You have to learn different skills and make them a part of your skill set and experiment with them and see what people like and what they're responding to, right? And that's the price of survival. You have to constantly educate yourself and change what you're doing and experiment to find that groove that really gets you the audience that you desire. Bonus reading. This was a book that was presented to us last class by Peter, and this book is called Just Start, Take Action, Embrace Uncertainty, and Create the Future. It's by Leonard Schlesinger. Okay. Now, I'm a full transparency. I have not read this book because I wrote down in my notes the wrong book. I mixed the title and the author up and I couldn't find it. So I hit up Peter and said, please tell me what is it? Because every tax return, I purchase about 10 to 15 books. And I was not able to purchase this last tax return because I had lost it in all my notes, because this notebook that I have, I've gotten pages and pages and pages since the last class that we did last year in August. Okay. So now this book's already been added to my purchase list. Okay. Now let's talk about it a little bit. This is straight from Amazon about what this book is about and why it's important that, why Peter feels that it's important that we read this. Okay. How to succeed at work and life in an increasingly unpredictable world. In a world where you can no longer plan or predict your way to success, how can you achieve your most important goals? It's a daunting question, but in today's environment where change is the only constant, it is a question everyone must answer. This is true whether you're an innovator or an entrepreneur or a manager or a newly minted graduate. The first step, say the authors of the book, is this: just start. You guys have already started your videos. You've started your content creation process and your journey. You're documenting it. We've already gotten you on that first step. You started. In other words, take action now and learn as you go. Written by a trio of seasoned business leaders, Just Start combines fascinating research which provides practices to deliver a reliable method for helping you advance toward your goals. And it goes on. Using this novel approach, Just Start will help you determine the best strategy and tactics when the future is uncertain. Why are you drawing all over my page? Somebody's drawing all over it. Minimize financial risk in every decision you make. Attract like-minded people to what you want to do and learn why it is important. And understand why act, learn, and build so you can act again is the best course of action when facing the unknown. Like, this book is literally what we have been teaching in this entire course so far. We're on day 5. We've literally been teaching this book, and we haven't even read it. None of us have read this book. All right? But it's on Peter's recommended reading list, and I'm telling you right now, I am definitely reading it. All right? And it would be highly recommended that if you want to continue your content creation journey, you know, this is a recommended reading list right here. Just book 1. Anyway, moving on. Remember, it is a waste of energy to be someone you are not. Just like in the dating world, if you're going to put on this farce of, you know, who you think that person likes, and when they get to realize who you really are, they're going to see they're going to see you as fake. You're not real. They didn't fall in love with the real you, and the relationship's going to die. All right. Same thing with content creation. You don't want to start creating something because you think
so harsh.
Oh yes.
Die. Die.
You don't want to create a personality that you think that they're going to like if that's not really who you are. You want to attract the kind of audience that is attracted to the real you, to your real journey and your real experiences. It is a waste of energy to be someone you are not. The only way to find new experiences is to go to new places, not just new locations in the world, like, you know, California to New York, or California to Texas, or California to, you know, Singapore or Japan, or I keep saying California because that's where I'm at. But you need to go to new places in your content creation process. Try new avenues, try new things. You know, if you're big on YouTube videos, maybe try podcast, blog, vlog, anything and everything. Find your way to what really hits that sweet spot for your content creation process and for giving you the best audience possible. All right? Nice and short. Any questions?
What's that book name again?
The book.
Yeah, do it.
Just Start. Take Action, Embrace Uncertainty, Create the Future by Leonard Schlesinger.
It's cheaper on Amazon. I just looked it up while he was talking.
Yeah, that's exactly where I got the picture from. And
good job.
the whole description and everything. Like, I literally cut.
Because I tried to do the books on online, and it's $35 online. So it's Amazon has it cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions? Excellent. So Ninja made it. Welcome, Ninja. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right. So after hearing all that, Mikhail, do you have any input, insight, or things to add, or should we just go ahead and start sharing video?
Kinda, start like thinking outside the bubble. You just kind of like sit there. Don't take too much time at it. Whenever I was first making videos, I would set a time, and I still do when I make videos. I set time aside, at least 10, 20 minutes before I do anything, just to gather it all in and let it out. That's just me personally.
Hey, Scott, could you hit the mute button for me real quick?
No.
There we go. All right.
Well, but I was enjoying the music. But yeah, so just like you said, like he was saying, be your authentic self. So find what works for you.
Yeah, definitely. Find what works for you, and definitely stretch your abilities and capabilities, by learning new ways of creating content. Sure. I know for me personally, I need to stretch that marketing, that advertising, because I already have the content creation. I'm making shirts left and right. I've moved from video to designing these sorts of things, but I still need that marketing.
You need to use your social media, Chris. That's why. Mm-hmm. Social media.
I need to work on the social media advertising.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my personal, muscle stretch right there.
I have one question, guys.
Sure.
Video wise, how was it? Because honestly, we did not edit anything on that video. It was as it was done, uploaded it up there.
Perfect.
I don't edit anything in my videos.
Because we don't know how to edit anything. We don't know how to add. You know how some videos have like little pop-ups and stuff? And I'm like, that's pretty cool, but we need to learn how to do that because we're clueless.
I mean, I do that every now and then, but like sometimes I'll just keep going if I mess up. My thing is like I'll wave my hand like in front of my camera or something, and then I'll give a second, and then I'll say it again. So that way, when I'm going back to my video, I know that when I'm doing this, obviously I meant to cut that out because I stumbled upon my words or something like that. But I don't like to I just like to one take it and just is what it is. Like you're gonna get that's how I feel. So it's either good or bad or there's no need to keep going over and over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just feel like it takes a lot of time.
It does. Okay. It does. And I liked it because I like videos like that. There's just one take, one cut.
All of my videos are one take. I yell at myself for mincing my own words.
I messed up. I was like, I mispronounced something, and I'm just like, wait a minute, I caught myself. And I was like, I told this, you know what? I don't know how to edit videos. Let's just throw it out there like this. Forget it.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
From the heart.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I was like, I want honest opinion with you guys that it was fine, and I don't have to stress about anything else that, add this, add that, edit this, edit that. And I'm just like, oh, it's too much time.
I know that when it comes to editing and being able to add the cool pop-ups, like let's talk about Kenzie's video. All right. We saw his first video where it's just him one-shotting the whole thing, mistakes, nervousness and all. And then we got to see, a year later, his video where he's got his phone and you get to see the scrolling on the phone in the YouTube video. I'm like, I don't even know how to do that one, and then he's got pop-ups, little, clips put in, from other videos or other, GIFs, all these cool things. And it's like, man, that's awesome. And that's a skill that's going to require a lot of time and dedication. And you know what? That's okay. You don't have to learn it all at once. One step at a time. Learn something new. Try it out. Get proficient in it a little bit. You don't have to be a pro, but get a little proficient in it and learn what makes a good quality video for your audience. Does your audience like the one cuts, or do they like the ones that have the little pop-ups here and there, whatnot, and little overlays or all that different stuff? It's a matter of experimentation, and you are free to do it however you choose. Personally, I think for a first video, the one shot, perfect. Awesome. We got to see your true, authentic self. We got to see, even the little hiccups, calling basic, our daily basic lives instead of basis.
Yeah.
Like I called myself basic. What did I just do? What did I just do?
See our lives on a daily basic. Hey, you know what? That was perfect. It cracked a smile on my face. People want to smile watching videos. And you know what? Hey, I think you guys did a great job. And Kenzie, I know that you're not here right now, but excellent job on the progression that you have done over the past year of content creation, going from, being nervous and everything like that to being able to put out the kind of quality content that you have both on Instagram and on YouTube with the snap-ins and the cuts and whatnot. Excellent progress. Definitely keep it up. Totally looking forward to everything that you are going to be doing. And I hope you don't mind. We totally just used you an example. But, like I said in the private group chat, I hope that, those who are here and those who will watch the video later, you will look at the beginnings video and the year later video and use it as inspiration to see yourself, what can I do in a year from now if I don't quit? If I constantly experiment and just take baby steps, one step at a time, one new thing, try one new thing over and over and over again until you build up a repertoire of skills. That's the change that will bring you the audience that you need. All right. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and we can chill out and hang out later. So for everybody else, stay tuned to the next one. Peace out.